Hi, my name is Hamlet Collado, sales engineer at Vodia Networks. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how to launch an instance with AWS, Amazon Web Service. And also I'm going to show you how to install the Vodia PBX and a few tips and tricks on how to get the routing and firewall running on your instance. So if you've signed in to your AWS portal, first thing we're going to do is create an instance. So I'm going to click Launch Instance, and because this is a Linux tutorial on how to install Vodia, I'm going to choose Ubuntu server, and I'm going to select. Okay, so we're going to choose an instance. I'm going to choose the T2 micro type. I'm going to click Next Configuration. And I typically leave this as default, as long as unless you're doing something fancy, you want to change the network type and things like that. It's really you can't do too much because it's a tier free type that I chose. If you choose something else, you'll probably get more options. So let's go next to added storage. Default comes with 8 gigs. I'm alright with that. I don't need that much a gig space to launch Vodia PBX. You can add a tag here. I typically leave this as default. I don't need a tag right now. And I'm going to set up the security firewall rules. And this controls the traffic for your instance. So basically, if you have subscribers, since this is a hosted edition I'm going to use to install the PBX on, you have to choose or program the customer's IP address under the custom source here. At this point, I'm not going to get too fancy. I'm just going to choose anywhere for all my ports that I'm going to open. And so let's add a rule. I'm going to rule custom TCP rule, which we're going to see here. We're going to use 5060. And then the source will be any IP, any external IP address can connect to my PBX and register. Again, it's only for test purposes. Of course, you can, I can put my IP address. Okay, so, and the reason why I chose TCP 5060 is because some phones provision that way. For example, Grandstream phones, they use TCP connection, so I'm going to open that on our firewall rule. The next port I'm going to open is port 5061, and here I'm going to choose my IP. So that means my external IP, I can log into the instance without getting blocked by the firewall. Next port, we're going to choose UDP. And we're going to use 5060. Next port we're going to use is HTTPS, port 443. And let's see if there are any other ports we can use. We can use the RTP ports, and which is the range for the PBX is 49,152 to 64,512 for this as well. I think we got it covered. Port 5060, 5061, 5060 for UDP, 443. Next one we should do is, of course, let's do port 80 so that we can log into the PBX from my location and I can see the web portal. I think that does it. I don't think we need to add anything else. So let's review the launch. Okay. Ubuntu server. Here's my security group. Here are the ports that we open and some information if you need to go over some things. And then we have the storage. Alright, I'm gonna launch the instance, and before I launch the instance I have to select I can select an existing key pair, or I can create a new one. So I am going to create a new one. And I'm going to call this AWS Vodia test. Okay, I'm going to download my key. Okay, and the reason for this is to SSH into your Ubuntu server, you need to do it through SSH. And since it's very important that security is key here, so this is why we're downloading. We've created a key pair name, and then you can see here it downloaded my private key. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is launch my instance, which means I'm all finished now, and I'm going to it takes a few minutes for the instance to be running. All right, so now our instance is running. Okay, so great. So the next step will be to SSH into your Linux box. So how do you do that? Well, you first need to download PutyTel. Okay. Once you download PutyTel, the next program you need to download is PutyGen. Okay, you can find this on the net. I went to the official page actually under PutyTel. So putty.org. Click here, and then I believe the PutyGen is here. So you have to have these two pieces of software to log into your machine. What the PutyGen does is generates a secret key that you will use for PutyTel, which is just an SSH program, and will authenticate you and will give you access to log into your instance on your virtual machine. Okay, so let's do that now. I'm gonna go and click on my Putty key generator, and I'm gonna load the key I created before the instance was running. So I'm going to click on all. I'm going to click my AWS Vodia test. So this is my key. I'm going to open. Okay, now I get a successfully message. I imported my foreign key. Press OK, and then I'm going to save. Okay, sorry, you have to come up with a phrase first, which the phrase is just the password you're going to use to log in to your SSH session. Okay, there. Created my phrases. I'm going to save my key, and I'm going to name it AWS Vodia test. All right. Now that's done. Now it's time to SSH to your box. In this case, you can use your public IP. So I give it to you here, 35.164.226.25, and I'm gonna go and open up my Putty. Okay, and then the most crucial step is to go to authentication, and you want to browse for the key we have just created, which is this one here. So once I open this, I'm gonna open it here on the Putty. Okay, and so this is my server key. I'm gonna say yes. Okay, I'm going to log in as, I believe for this instance it's not root, it's Ubuntu. And then your paraphrase that you've paired with your key. Okay, so now we are SSH into the box. It says to run a command as administrator, use root, use sudo. So I usually do sudo -s, and then I'm already root, so I don't have to enter the paraphrase again. All right, so the next step is to install the Vodia PBX. So let's navigate to vodia.com. We're gonna go to downloads and then Linux installation. Okay, so here we just talk about prerequisites, the installation in order. Very easy to follow. All right, so I'm going to use the Debian distribution. There's your wget. All you have to do is just copy paste, go to your putty, and paste. Press enter, and now we have installed debian.sh. See the next one here, it says change mode A plus RX install Debian. So we're going to do change mod A plus RX install Debian. Let me fix this real quick. So we say change mod, and this is, we're just giving permission for this install a dash debian.sh to run. So I'm going to press enter. Okay, next is install dash debian.sh. Okay, so / install debian.sh. All right, press enter. It's gonna ask me if I want to use additional space. I'm gonna say yes. Install some following new packages, and it's on its way to update itself, get the latest packages, and also install the Vodia PBX. Okay, so now the Vodia PBX is running on Ubuntu. Simple command line. We keep it very simple. There's no, it's a pure installation. We support CentOS, Debian, FreeBSD, and Raspberry Pi 2. Okay, so now that the PBX is installed into Ubuntu, we need the IP address to log in. So my IPv4 public IP is 35.164.226.25, and here it is. I've already gone ahead and have entered a secure password so that I can log in. I'll do it again just for shows. Okay, so that's saved. So the next thing I'm going to do is license my PBX. So I've already gone ahead and gotten a license. If you want to get a license from Vodia, you have to sign up. You go to vodia.com/en/register. Once you register, you'll get an email from us. Then you'll be able to log in. And when you log in, you want to go to PBX, Vodia PBX bundle. You need to be logged in to see all of our bundles. And the best thing about it is that you can do a trial that you and you can, you know, test it on your machine, so you'll know how the licensing scheme works at least. So now that I have my PBX licensed, the next thing we need to do is tell the IP routing table on the PBX to use the public IP for audio and registration. So how are we going to do that? We have to go to the command line, and we have to figure out what is the LAN IP. In this case, AWS. When you create your instance, you are behind AWS NAT. So let's re-log in. Okay. So I want to run as root. Okay. So IP if config. All right. So my internal IP is 172.31.27.152, and I believe that's about all you need. Okay, so now we know our LAN IP and we know our external IP. So what we're trying to do, folks, is tell the PBX, once you have a registered phone, once you have your trunks, when I make an outbound call, I want the PBX to use the external IP. I don't want it to use the LAN IP, otherwise we'll get one-way audio, which is one of the biggest issues with SIP is NAT. So what we're gonna do is go to resource, online document. I'm gonna type in SIP and audio RTP, and I'm just going to check. Let's see here. I think it's SIP RTP settings. Yes. All right. So what I'm interested in this article is the IP routing list. The IP routing list is a setting used to override the operating system IP routing table and is linked to the routing table. This setting will be consulted by the system before consulting using the operating system. Whenever the system wants to find out the IP address that is being used when sending a SIP packet, it steps through the list and looks for a match. So this is what I usually do. I copy paste this into my notepad, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use practically almost the same scheme. So here 192.168.0, so my static IP internal IP is 172.31.27.2. Okay, so I'm gonna add that here. Actually, I can just easily do 172.31.27.0, and here I can do 172.31.27.152. And then this should be the external IP of the PBX. So I'm just going to copy paste that there on the notepad, and like so. Okay, again, this is used for consulting the IP routing table, and this will help very much with audio when placing an outbound call. So I'm going to put this under IP routing list, and I'm going to save that. Okay, so that's all set. We have our license. We licensed the PBX. We checked out the IP routing list. Now I should be able to place calls and hear audio on both sides. So we can go ahead now and create a extension. Very simple. You can just 440. I'm gonna give it a web password. I don't want the PBX to create a web password for me. I want to do it myself. Reason being is I'll be able to log into my user portal So in order to use your user portal entwined with WebRTC, you have to use HTTPS. In many cases, you might want to get your own certificate, which you can upload here. So if you get a certificate, make sure you get the root CA and private keys. You can upload it on the PBX, and then you'll be able to have your own certificate and use HTTPS automatically. Okay, so I'm going to proceed. I just want to show you guys how easy it is to log into your web portal. So I'm going to go 440. Alright, here's my user portal. I'm going to allow and let Google show me notifications when I get incoming calls. I should be able to dial my own extension here now. I'm going to allow the microphone.
You are calling your mailbox for the first time. To identify your extension, you may record your name. This recording will be used when someone reaches your mailbox or when the auto attendant redirects a call to your extension. To start recording your name now, press 1. Please start recording your name after the tone. When finished, press the pound sign.
Hamlet Collado.
To listen to your recording, press 1.
Hamlet Collado.
To listen to your recording, press 1. To use your recording, press 2. To record again, this is the main menu of the mailbox. To hear your messages, press 1. To change your access code, press 2. To record your name, please enter your new access code. To return to the main menu, press star. You have entered 9812. Press 1 to use this access code. This is the main menu of the mailbox. To hear your messages, press 1. To change your...
Okay, so with the user portal, you get to dial numbers, receive calls, you can see your history, you can check your voicemail if you have any. You can put calls on D&D, redirection. And this is the presence page. Here you can see your colleagues. For example, myself, I'm in green, I'm available because I'm logged in. Then you have John Cable, Ken Rogers, Lawrence Taylor, Bruce Wayne, and these are the your colleagues that if they were in the web portal, they're logged in, you'll be able to call them or call their phone or instant message them if they were logged in. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the PBX. We're gonna log in as an admin. And as you can see, I've already created 5 extensions. And it's pretty much it. I mean, this is how you install Vodia PBX on AWS virtual machine using a Ubuntu instant machine. Here we'll show the software build 7.0, Debian 64, and that's pretty much it. I mean, if you guys are interested in getting a hosted license so you guys can test with AWS, you need to sign up with Vodia.com, give us your name and information, and then we can do an evaluation license for you. You know, it's not rocket science, it's not that difficult. The next video will be how to install Vodia PBX on Google Cloud through Windows and Linux, and I hope you found this video to be a help to you on installing the Vodia PBX on AWS. And stay tuned, we'll have more videos coming along, and I encourage you guys to sign up at Vodia.com so you can see the benefits. We have a great reseller program, and I think it's a great revenue stream for ITSP and ISP. Okay, well, I'm signing off, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.